And so the title of this video is Seeing. If you haven't already subscribed, click the subscribe button here and turn notifications on, and then you'll be notified when new content is uploaded. So I would maybe add to that title, Seeing What's in Front of You. Because so often in life, and I'm no exception to this, we miss what is happening. And to really notice what's happening is quite special. And clearly, sometimes we don't have the luxury of stopping to notice because we're involved too much in the doing. But this is more maybe in those times when we can have the luxury of being. So the difference between being and doing is that in the being one can be aware of what is happening at a deeper level. Often when we're doing because we have to do something, we have to act in the moment, and we don't necessarily have the ability to step outside of that frame of reference to notice, to truly notice. Although I would suggest that as we start to see what's in front of us and notice things more clearly and more regularly, then that can infuse and affect in a positive way the doing areas of our life. In other words, even when we're carried away in the action, there is a part of us that can also still sit in silence and in peace and notice what is happening whilst we're acting. But in this video I'm going to talk about when you have the luxury, so you're sitting down. I can give you an example. The other day I was sitting looking out of the back window at the garden. We have a small garden, we've got some bird feeders, and we've attracted a variety of birds into the garden. And to just notice what's happening, to see the flights of the different varieties coming to feed on the table or on the hanging feeders. For me, the temptation is just to name and see them as named objects that I can identify. And maybe this is left over from when I was in the RSPB, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, where it was all about, for me as a youth, buying books and identifying pictures of birds in books and then going out into nature and being able to identify those birds and take pride in naming and knowing. And that was perfect, and actually it gave me something in my youth that I needed at the time, a focus that was in effect nature, but in a more left brain, logical, analytical way of identifying, naming and knowing. However, looking out of the window the other day, I started just to notice the birds in and of themselves, and just the colours and the way they moved and the different mannerisms. I'm sure I could name them if I wanted to, but it wasn't about naming. It was about noticing. And there's a difference. In that noticing, it was a deep sense of peace and stillness and connection with them somehow. And a thought occurred to me that so often in life we have an idea of what heaven might be, and sometimes if we opened our eyes and noticed, it's in front of us. Seeing what's in front of you, possibly seeing it for the first time. It doesn't have to be a new experience. It can be something that you may have been aware of in the past, but not in that deeper sense of noticing and being at one with the stillness that is mirrored back to you in nature. So you may have seen it, but did you really, really see it? And yesterday I was really seeing a picture of the environment that I was used to, that I'd seen many times before, but I was seeing it in a deeper, truer sense. And I find that's happening more and more. I think that to see what's in front of you, you have to have that clarity of perception and stillness of mind, because if you can't release yourself from the racing thoughts and drop into that deeper sense of being alive and at one with what is unfolding, if you can't find that place that transcends your story and gives you a break from the doing mind that is always trying to problem solve and firefight and has to have a certain amount of worry and concern in order to function, if you can drop beneath that, then you'll have a chance to see that often heaven is right in front of you. You've just been looking in the wrong way. You've been seeing the manifestations filtered through a conditioned mind, and that conditioned mind is often overtaken with thoughts of what to do next and what to concentrate on and what to focus on in order to survive and make one's way in the world. But in that pressure to navigate one's life and make it safe and secure, which is arguably almost impossible anyway, but in that mindset you miss what's in front of you. So this is about seeing what's in front of you and perhaps recognizing that this is perfection, this is the heaven that we imagine, and it's unfolding in front of our eyes all the time, and we keep missing it. And sitting looking at the birds in the garden or at a stream in the woods seems to be a good way into that bliss, that beauty, that perfection of being. But I would argue that it is also available washing the dishes, cleaning the car, on the school run, in the library, driving, in the office, in a team meeting. You still have the ability to see through the conditioned mind, open your eyes and connect with what is in front of you in a pure, undiluted sense, free from the racing mind and the default position that you believe you need to self-protect, you need to defend, and you have to have security and knowledge in order to be able to function. And you don't need any of those things. You've already been added to all your whole life. You have the experience, the knowledge and the skills to be at ease in any environment. If you can just drop beneath the conditioned mind, stop, open your eyes and actually notice what's happening and enter into the only true reality that there ever exists, which is the current moment and what is unfolding in front of you.